So today's class is work your sphere. So I'm thinking, I haven't really, I'm always discussing scripts and dialogues and how I talk with buyers and sellers. But I think today we should devote just to scripts and dialogue. So let's just talk about script dialogues. If you have access to my resource folder, I have a whole folder just on scripts and dialogues. So I just want to show that to you. Here's my agent resources folder that I share with everybody. And I have a folder called scripts and dialogues. So in this folder, I have for sale by owner scripts, mission dialogue, door knocking, YouTube links. So at the listing appointment, preparing for the listing appointment, setting the listing appointment. So if you're getting ready to go on a listing appointment, I would suggest going through the scripts and dialogues for the listing appointment. Get you more ready. That makes sense. Immaculate. Too early. I haven't had my coffee yet. All right.
More prepared.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Okay, so whoops, scripts and dialogues. So Zillow jacking. Okay. So whenever I receive emails and things that I think are beneficial, I'm gonna put it in here. Look at all these scripts and dialogues from Zillow. So great. This is
What folder is that in?
it's in my scripts and dialogues folder. It's called Zillow jacking. Buyer to seller conversion script, already talking to another agent. There's scripts in here that aren't even, I put it in Zillow jack. So there's Redx scripts, Vulcan. I'm sure I'm violating all sorts of stuff here.
I got templates for a buyer and a listing presentation, and those are also full of scripts too.
Excellent, everything. So
Yeah.
all scripts are good. And basically the reason to practice scripts is to internalize them. So that when someone asks you a question, without even thinking, you are responding to them. Right? You do the script so often and rehearse it so often that it's just part of your natural DNA. I don't even think when someone asks me a question, I just respond based upon knowing the script. But scripts are also designed to lead someone to where you want to take them. So there's only so many questions someone is going to ask, and we just need to be prepared for them. And we're going to lead them into, wherever it is that we're trying to help guide them. So going with the same agent again, how did you find my number? If anyone asks you how you got the number, say AJ gave it. So there are KW Ignite scripts. There's an Ignite script book. This is all from KW University. Scripts for buyers, scripts for sellers, scripts for lead generation, buyer mastery scripts, seller mastery scripts, lead and objection scripts, expired, FSBO, pre-foreclosure. So I have all these scripts and dialogues for you guys. Just ready to discuss. So I would like to discuss some of these with you today. I'd like to practice. So there's this guy on YouTube. His name is Kevin Ward. This is old school. Like this is from 2017. I saved these. I I've watched him progress all the years. I don't want to comment on that, but I was really enjoying his stuff when I first looked at it. So the book of yes is just how to get people to say yes. Like, you know, when you're asking questions to someone and the response is yes, you're getting them in yes mode. So let's just take a look at that. So personal circle. So today, you know, this is good. We're talking about your sphere. So this is your sphere. Your sphere is people that you know. This is your personal circle. Hi, Steve. This is JJ Wallack at PW Beverly Hills. How you doing? The reason I'm calling today is because I need your help. You have a minute. Sure. I've set a goal to help at least 10 people this year who are either going to be buying, selling, or investing in real estate. I was wondering who you've talked to recently that's looking to buy, sell, or invest. Have you bumped into anyone at work or your neighborhood? What would be the best way for me to contact them? I will give them a call and introduce myself and see what I can do to help. Is there anyone else you can think of? Now, this might be intrusive to you. You might think this is very intrusive, asking someone if they can think of anyone. It's up to you. But in bold, we are taught to ask everyone for an appointment. Make an appointment. Did you get the appointment? Right. So that's the whole object of our conversations is to get either a showing, buying appointment, or a listing appointment. So, or a referral. Did you ask for a referral and did you get a referral? So that is the goal with every call. So we have to be intentional about that. So here's an optional icebreaker if you have not talked to a person in a while. I was just thinking about you, and in fact, I've been meaning to call you, and I decided today I was just going to pick up the phone and actually call you. So how are things going? And you know, I will take great care of them for a referral because I want both you and them to be glad you referred me. How to interrupt a talkative. Hey, I'm sorry to have to do this. I've got an appointment. I have to. Oh, this is a talkative. They won't stop talking. I've got an appointment I have to run to right now. I'm so excited to hear more about whatever that is. Why don't you give me a call some evening in the next week or two? Let's catch up. Someone else has to. All right, modification for a new agent. Hi, this is JJ Wallack, Keller Williams, Beverly Hills. How you doing? Great. The reason I'm calling today is because I need your help. Do you have a quick minute? In case you haven't already heard, I recently launched my career in real estate, which I'm very excited about, and I've set a goal to help at least however many people in the next 3 months who are either going to be buying, selling, or investing in real estate. So I was thinking this morning, like, you know, my personal conversation friends. And I really come from a place of can I help you with anything this year? Is there, you know, do you have any real estate needs that you need to get done before the end of the year? Do you have any goals for next year in real estate? Can you think of anyone that I can help improve their living situation? Right? That's coming from a real place of wanting to help. You know, can you think of anyone that needs to improve their living situation? Do we have any friends that, you know, are in a bad living situation that I can help? That's a good way to approach a friend looking for a referral. Maybe they're talking to someone that needs help with something. So, are there any objections that you guys are getting that you've been stumped on for a second, like how to respond back to anyone? I know that you're getting objections like for signing stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is natural. So this morning, someone actually texted me, I have a lease listing.
Yeah.
And the agent asked me yesterday, what is my landlord paying? And this is a tough one because we're not discussing the buyer compensation, right? It's like put it in your offer, but this is a lease. So leases weren't a part of the NAR settlement, but CAR and I don't know what's happening in states other than California, but the California Association of Realtors decided not to have commissions payable to the tenant's agent discussed at the time of listing. Also, they just didn't want to complicate it. So if if buying and selling, you're not discussing the buy side commission at the time of listing. They just are lumping in the leasing with that. So anyways, this agent reached out to me yesterday and said, what are you paying the tenant's agent for the lease? And I said, 2.5%. Because I know my landlord from previous conversations, and I've represented her in the past, has always paid it. She's not gonna have a problem with it. So this is for the 11 o'clock class, which we are, which it's yeah, for yesterday's, if you have it with you. So anyways, she texted me this morning and said, I'm canceling our showing today because my client doesn't want to sign the tenant representation agreement. I responded, I understand. What are their names? And if they call me, I will tell them that they need an agent and that they need to sign a tenant representation. So she was very appreciative. But I think we all, as a community, have to really enforce this, right? Richard sent me an interesting text, I think, or yesterday, I remember. This morning, so I guess Coldwell Banker, I haven't verified this, but so basically there are, who is it? Who is it that's actually?
What's happened is the government is sending people posing at Section 8, giving people with the vouchers to see if the real estate companies will accept the voucher and work with them. If we don't,
Okay,
it's based on the law. This is very, very strange.
there must be complaints that have been happening.
That was the government people doesn't like stuff and do this undercover.
That I know about, but
They did.
Richard is saying, like, there are people, I guess there must have been complaints that there were agents using people with Section 8 vouchers.
Yes.
So the government will pay a portion of someone's rent
Yeah.
for housing, called Section 8. And it's a guaranteed income for a landlord if they get a Section 8 tenant. But supposedly, allegedly, there were some agents.
Caldwell Banker and Southern. Those were that was on
I've seen that happen and there's
Seen
some
it.
like lawsuits of it in the past, not recently.
it's showing them now.
Interesting.
Yeah, because my,
Yeah, so I guess the moral of the story is us as agents don't, if someone if someone calls you on lease listing and says, do you accept Section 8? Right,
Yeah.
that's the question.
Yeah.
How do you answer the question? So the question is, has your client seen the property? Let's show the property and let's see if they even like it. Right?
That was on the 89.3 FM.
Okay.
That's the name.
So if anyone, now I don't think anyone would qualify for the current lease listings I have for Section 8 because they're expensive and they're variable bills, obviously. But if you have a $2,500 a month, say, lease, so someone,
that seems high too.
it seems high too. So I just remember Section 8. I mean, 1,300 a month, 15, maybe it's up to 1,500 a month. I'm not sure what's that. It's up more than that. So, yeah, you just got to be careful. If someone's calling, do you accept Section 8 tenants? Say, of course. But the landlord is the one that makes the decision based upon income. You are allowed to deny the tenant based on income. You are. They would have to have additional income to support the property in addition to the Section 8 voucher that they're getting. Right, so
Just one voucher too, it's like just,
I think you get one voucher, but based upon the size of your family, that probably can grow. So I'm gonna say, what is?
Maybe you can look it up on Google.
Yeah, what is the maximum Section 8 voucher? I'm getting some weird results that are not correct sometimes
through the AI.
through the AI, yeah, so it's very important to me where my information comes from. I'm always gonna look for a government source. Voucher payment standards. So this is the Housing Authority of Los Angeles. So about Section 8. So here we go. Voucher payment standards. So the max, wow, holy cow. Oh, for a 6-bedroom, you can get up to $5,600 from the government.
For a what?
Bedroom. That's good.
Explain that.
What? For a 6-bedroom house, you can get a voucher for $5,600. Okay, so now we know why these agents are being contacted. I never knew this. Glad we're looking it up. Following chart depicts the BPS voucher payment standard for the Housing Authority of the City of Los Angeles. Effective October 1st, 2023. Oh, man.
What's interesting is that's like probably a month's rent, maybe two for most of these size.
Our government is paying this much, our state is paying this much money for house people.
Per month.
Yeah, per month.
Oh, that's monthly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a lot.
that's your rent. They're just paying your rent.
Yeah.
What is it for a 2-bedroom?
So if you have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, the government will pay $3,900 a month.
Oh,
That's
39,
almost
39,
like almost
15.
my rent.
Right, so,
Like almost
so here's
my
the,
rent.
here's the
That's
risk,
crazy.
here's the risk as I see it with the section. Tenant damage. Like, that's my, I'm not, I don't want to generalize or get in trouble. Oh my God, they can't. My concern is damage because, look, I never knew that they would go up to this much money. Like the section 8 that I've always dealt with is like the $1,500 and less. And when you have rent, this is what I mean by this. When you have rent that's $1,500 a month or less, damage adds up very fast. So if someone does damage the property, they don't have the money to do the repair. You're not going to be able to recoup the money on your future rent, right? So if there's $4,000 in damage, that's already almost 3 months of rent, right? That's what I mean.
You don't
Yeah.
you get it back.
You're not going to get it back from that tenant, right?
from
Correct.
The government.
Anyway.
That's crazy.
A recent investigation has uncovered widespread discrimination by real estate companies in California, with numerous landlords and major brokerages being accused of illegally refusing to rent to tenants utilizing Section 8 housing vouchers, prompting lawsuits and state civil rights. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you can't deny someone based upon that.
And they're gonna lose in
Uh,
reality.
yeah.
Property management company I have in my building did this with low income and disabled tenants
And disabled.
and people who were on Section 8 vouchers and they lost it. Their lawsuit because of
Yeah, yeah.
like
And-
pushed them out.
Yeah, all right. I mean, it's just something we need to be aware of. So the issue is don't deny someone on a phone call. Right? That's really
Go through the process.
to show them the property. We as agents we're not the ones denying anybody. It's the landlord. We're, all the time, my landlord will say, what would you do? Would you approve this tenant? And I always respond, I'm not the one that's approving the tenant. I don't want to tell you yes, and then, this tenant looks great. Everything we're looking at looks fantastic, great credit, blah, blah, blah. But they're gonna stop paying in 3 months, God forbid, and then you're gonna blame me because I'm the one saying, yes, I would take them. Like, I don't want that responsibility. You're the one that has to approve. So, we don't approve tenants, basically. Now, I want you to know, if you deny someone based upon credit, you have to give a letter of denial. That is a credit requirement. I don't, no one ever talks about it, but there is a credit denial form from Rent Spree. So Rent Spree does have one, and there is also one in. This is interesting, 5,600 up to 5,600. All right, so. All right, so today we're just talking about calling your sphere, calling a friend. I'm just picturing myself calling someone I haven't talked to in a while. It's not awkward. I'm calling someone I haven't talked to in a while, picking up the phone. Hey, I know you haven't heard from me in a while. Just wanted to say hi, see what you're doing, tell you what I'm doing. Is that a weird call? I don't think so.
Good feeling.
Yeah, I mean,
Because you DM them
it's right. I'm not stalking you.
and that works.
So it's really just a matter of talking to people, and the more people you talk to, the more business you're gonna have. That's just how it is. So, if you want a huge $2 million business next year, then you need to talk to that many more people every day. If you want to do high-end volume properties, then you should concentrate on making friends with agents who have $10 million, $15 million listings and asking them if you can do their open houses. So then you're meeting those buyers and those neighbors. So that's, if I were to move somewhere and not know anyone, I would immediately, my goal would be to do open houses. Fine, and then I'm immediately meeting buyers, so. That's what I would do. I would just, go into an area and I would just start talking to agents. And finding properties in the area that I want to work and asking them if I can host their open house. And that's it. And I'm talking to buyers that walk in. So when a buyer walks in or someone walks into my open house. Hi, how are you? Please feel free to take a look around. Don't miss. I'm gonna call out a certain feature in the property. When you're upstairs, don't miss the blank or something. And then when they come back down, it gives me an excuse to ask them, what'd you think of that? Right, then I'm engaging them in conversation. So that's a script and dialogue technique to engage someone. Right, tell them, don't miss this, and then when they come back, what did you think of it? Start talking, what brought you here today? Are you looking to buy yourself? Are you looking for someone else? Do you currently own or rent? If you were to buy, do you need to sell first? Do you want me to come and give you a quote, right, a CMA on your property? Like, are you curious what you can get for it? There's a reason the person came there. You gotta dig deep to find out. So if you're renting, are you in a lease or are you month to month? If you're month to month, great. You can give 30-day notice. If you're in a lease, when is your lease ending? So, we should start looking now, right? And, or are you might have someone who is actually in a rent control property for a low dollar amount. And they buy something, but they stay in their low rent control amount property, could be. So it's just a matter of digging, asking questions. If you guys, can you guys think of any objections that you want answered? Like, think of anything, any objection?
Well, the one, they want to wait, just two. One, they want to wait until the houses go down.
Okay, so
And the
any,
other one is the interest rates.
okay, so any objection that I get about someone wanting to wait, I'll say, what are you waiting?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let them say, okay, I understand that I'm gonna repeat their objection. I'm letting them know I'm hearing them. I understand that you think interest rates are high right now. And they might go down. But if you find a property that you love, don't lose it because of where interest rates are. So if you find a property you love, buy it. If interest rates go down, you can refinance. And if interest rates go up, you'll be happy that you bought the property at the current rate. But it's harder to find a property that you love.
If they're waiting for prices to go down and interest rates. If
Okay.
interest rates go down, your price is going.
So I understand you think prices are gonna go down. You're right, we've had a huge up cycle. I understand that. But no one has a crystal ball, right? And no one knows that property prices will go down. There are cycles in the market, but we can't time it. And if you see the property that you love, you should buy it. Right? The price that you're spending your time that you're living, you need to love the property, right? That's a big bonus to love where you're living. Don't lose that property because you think prices are gonna go down.
They're going down in other places, I've noticed, just off.
So I'm doing CMAs all the time. And I'm seeing some areas have decreasing active listings. Like there's less for sale and other areas have more for sale. It's really an interesting market where different areas are operating completely differently.
I look at home at where I'm from and there's
Okay,
always inventory, a lot of inventory, but now prices are actually like
going down.
more normal. And then also things that are overpriced are just getting price cut like crazy.
Interesting.
Like homes that people were initially listing for $2 to $3 million, they're listing in the like mid to high ones. And they're actually selling for about that or a little bit less.
So if I was talking to a buyer right now, I would show them the dip
Yeah,
and say this, don't miss this opportunity. It looks like an opportunity. You're only gonna know it's an opportunity, right? 5 or 6 months from now, looking back, but this looks like a real opportunity. Just the numbers that I was doing yesterday, from the market snapshot. So I highly recommend that everyone do a market snapshot whenever they're gonna do an open house. or go to a party or wherever you're gonna see your friends. Before you go, do a market snapshot. Uh, so here is a market snapshot on the zip code 90035. So let's just take a look at that. 1 year, single family property. It's really this easy. Let's run the report. Okay, so active listings are actually on a downswing, so there's less competition. Right, so if you're thinking about putting your property on the market, but waiting until January or February, maybe not, right? Bless you. So I'm always gonna use these, I'm gonna use these charts to help my case. So if I'm going on a listing appointment today, I'm going to bring these charts with me. I'll print all of these charts. And I'm gonna go through this. I'm gonna educate my seller what's going on in the market. So here's what's going on in your zip code. Basically, there's less listings right now. And that means you have less competition. So if we look at historically, so we're right now, this is September. Okay, so let's go back. September. Okay, so it looks like November, December less, January, February. So things are gonna, I don't know, this is a weird, let's go back a little more. September, then things pick up. Oh. I don't know. I'd rather be a seller when there's less on the market from here than up here. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, as far as closed sales go. So September 4, only 4 properties sold in September in the whole zip code, 900. Wow, only 4 houses. Crazy, huh? 8 the previous. Okay, so now let's go back to, so this is September 23. Okay, so this year there were 4 sales in September. Last year there were 4 sales in September. In October, it spiked to 9. And then it went to 4 and then back up to 8. I want to take advantage of that. So if we get on the market now, historically, there could be right, more of a chance of selling based upon past close. New listings, okay, we've been pretty flat in this whole zip code, 8 properties coming on the market. Let's look at how long it's taking to sell a property. Okay. So right now it's taking about 48 days to sell a property. It was only 13 days in May. So it is taking longer to sell. But there's less inventory. So that's good. All right. Now, if no new listings came on the market at all, everything would dry up in 3 months. No, if no new inventory came on the market, 90035 would be sold out of properties in 3 months. And the average price is down right now a little bit. Okay. And then price per square foot down. So I don't think I would wait. I think I would get on the market right now while there's less competition. So it's not only sale competition, it's not only sale comps, it's also active competition. That's what I am looking at. So less active competition is good. That's what I would be focusing on at my listing appointment. What other objections or common objections from buyers or sellers? Anybody? Oh, whether must be talking to someone, but I'm not interested. I'm not looking for anything right now. If someone tells you they're not looking for anything right now, you can still spark if you know. If someone tells me no, not interested right now, say great, okay. You know, obviously you don't look at real estate, you know, as an investment vehicle right now, right? I want to try to change your thinking if I can. I want to help you get rich. Use me to help you get rich, right? So tell people like, you know, a lot of money is made in real estate just by buying and holding it. If you rent it, then you can have a tenant paying down your mortgage, right? So a tenant in the property is paying down your mortgage, you'll have a tax deduction. If you buy a property, and live in it, you're basically, from the time you buy, you're locking your cost of living for that time. So if you buy a property today, you're locking your cost of living to 2024. Right? So 20 years from now, you're still paying the 2024 monthly rental price or mortgage price. So that's really important. You are really helping people, not only yourself, you're really helping people by getting them into real estate. Yeah, everyone I know that has amassed wealth through real estate. Perfect. Now, being in California, that's a whole different story. We are in California. This is what we have to deal with. All right. So it's a very tenant friendly state. But we're here to help people move, and there's always change. Things are always changing. So change is what gets people to sell. So if you're challenged right now, like finding people who are looking to buy or sell, then I would say look at people who need to buy or sell. Who needs to buy or sell? So that's going to be going after divorce. It's going to be going after bankruptcy, people that are late on their mortgages. So those are people that need to sell. Inherited property also needs to get sold sometimes. Most of the time, there is a property that needs to get sold, even if there's a very large inheritance, like maybe multiple properties. Usually one property does get sold to pay whatever the estate will owe in taxes. And oftentimes you'll have siblings that need that, there's one sibling that needs the money and wants to sell some assets. So the other siblings may buy him out or not, may buy that person out or not. It's just common. It's very, very common. There's also a huge untapped market for elderly people that live by themselves, have nobody to care for them. Right? This is a huge opportunity for you if you want to go down that road. What do you call it?
Empty nesters?
Empty nester. So empty nester is someone that all their kids moved out.
Yeah,
So there's no one there. They have an empty nest now.
yeah.
So that's someone that doesn't need to sell. I'm looking at people that are now in their mids to late 70s that
They're in a large house.
they really need to think now about stairs.
Yeah.
Okay, they should be moving out of a house that has stairs into a single level house or a condo with an elevator. Or into a retirement home, maybe, if that's in the plan. It's always a difficult decision, family, right?
Right.
But there is a huge opportunity for you to specialize in something like that. I know that there's an accreditation, you can get accreditation. Making up words today. For there's a senior thing. Now, just want to talk about real quick about these accreditations. Gary Keller frowns on them. Yeah, he doesn't think that, because there are other companies that they want you to get as many as you can, this after your name, all these different things. He's just like, it's ridiculous. But the reason that he's saying it's ridiculous is because he's totally pro education. But in order to keep your accreditation, you have to make the yearly payment to keep it. That's the joke. That's the joke, right? So I'm a listing specialist. I have a listing specialist accreditation, but I have to pay for that every year to maintain, to use the right to use the logo. So that's why he's just like, it's
a waste of time.
yeah, but the education is good, but to have to pay every year to.
Yeah,
Isn't that
under
good
the signing agent, you have to pay.
Yeah.
Another the signing agent has to pay it from here also. And take an exam
Every year?
every year.
Wow.
Just be every 2 years, but they try to every year. I think it's mainly 20 grand.
it all, yes.
Everything's a money grab.
What other objections? An objection is just, it could be anything, so,
I had someone that said, it's a friend of mine, he said he wants to wait till July, it'll be 2 years for them. And I said, why 2 years? Is it a capital gains issue? He said, no, we just moved in. The place has problems. Now all of a sudden they find all these leaks and stuff. We just want to live there for 2 years because we just moved in. I said, okay. So
okay. So. Okay, so whatever it is, he's got the 2-year thing in his head.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So I would say you now have 2 years to figure out or find the ideal place that you want to be next, right?
Yeah.
So instead of putting a time limit on wait 2 years, let's spend the next 2 years or whatever, however that's wherever time it is in there.
it's like 8 months from here.
Fine. Oh, okay. So you need to start looking now.
Yeah. So I sent him that monthly thing.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I'm looking for condos in that area. But I put them on the MLS as well, so.
Okay. So, right, so, escrow could be 30 days. Right? Or more, 45, 60 maybe. And then the seller might not move out right away. Sometimes that happens. So that 8 months could literally be 5 months,
Yeah,
right? So. I would.
I'm just gonna keep in touch every month.
Keep in touch and I would say, on a side, I would actually take them out to a property. I would just start showing properties. And just to use the example, like my wife sometimes would call me, 25 years ago. She'd say, you have to come see this house. I just like, what are you talking about? She's like, no, you come. Like, what's the address? And then I would go and I'd see her at a property, or actually, I just remember I'd pull up and I'd be looking at the agent would park across the street. This is what this agent, very clever. He would park in front of a beat up house. And then he'd be waiting for me to pull up. And I'd be looking at the house that he's parked in front of. And he would go. He would say, no, not this one, that one. Right. This is pretty good tactic.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm like pulling up, like, what? And then he's like, no. It's a pretty good tactic.
If you wanted investment properties or you guys were flipping, why wouldn't you necessarily?
But this agent would call my wife to get her to come see property, even though we were not shopping for property.
That's so interesting.
Yeah,
But had you purchased,
very successful agent.
but had you guys bought stuff with him in the past and
He's
that's
bought some,
why?
and that's why he was just,
Yeah.
he got us to sell and buy and sell and sell. And then my wife said to me, go get your license because we're giving away so much money. He was starting to show my wife fixers. And that's how I got my life, like where my wife was buying fixers.
So it's like.
Huh?
When a fixer was like 100 or 200.
And a fixer was,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, what a nice time.
yeah.
So the challenge that I've been coming across with for buyers is that, like, if I meet them at an open house and I follow up with them and trying to get them to work with me.
Okay.
They have no agent, or maybe they do have an agent,
Uh-oh.
but no signature, like
Okay.
there's no perfect signs. So,
If someone has not signed a buy rep agreement, they do not have an agent.
right, exactly.
Yes.
So, it's getting them to commit to you and like want to sign it with you.
Okay.
And I was talking, I was role playing with one of my friends this morning, and it's like presenting the agreement in a way that they're not gonna get scared.
Okay.
So that's where my challenge
All right,
is.
let's play it. Let's do it. So, do you want to be the agent or the buyer?
Yeah, I'll be the buyer.
You'll be the buyer. Okay, I'll be the agent. Okay.
Okay.
So I put my buyer's agent hat on. So you're coming into my open house or I'm following up with you?
Following up with me. Yeah.
All right, ring, ring, ring.
But
Hi, this is JJ Wallack, Keller Williams, Beverly Hills. We met at my open house on Sunday. I'm just following up with you to see if you bought anything since Sunday.
no, not yet.
Not yet, okay. Why not?
I mean, that house, we liked it, but it was just out of our price range, and
Yes.
Yeah,
And I don't know if I don't remember, did you talk to a lender?
yeah, we're already pre-approved.
You're pre-approved for
Yeah.
this one. So what's stopping you from buying something right now?
We're not finding things that we like, we're just not finding the right home. And there's very little inventory right now, so that just makes it very challenging.
Um, what is your timing like? What are you thinking? Is there a reason that you need to buy something like now or later? What's your timing?
We're not in a huge rush. I mean, as long as we find something that we like, we'll move on. And if we don't, we're willing to wait.
If you saw something that you love right now, you would buy.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to put me to work full time for you to find that property?
So, I mean, we're not really committed to anyone right now.
Okay.
We're kind of just shopping by ourselves.
So I just want to tell you a little bit about me. I'm a hard worker. And if you were to give me a certain amount of time to find you a property, I'll work really hard to try to find you a property during that time. So I think if you don't commit to any agent, if you just want to not commit to an agent in particular, I think agents are going to be a little hesitant to work full time to try to find you a property. But if you give me, say, 60 days, I'm happy to start working every day to find you a property. That means not just going on the MLS, but I'll be contacting other agents in my office, other agents in my network. I'll be sending out email blasts, and I'll really try, and I'll be calling homeowners directly, really trying to find you a property. You want to give that a shot?
That does sound enticing.
Yeah, I'll be working full time for you. You'll be hiring me, and it won't cost you anything upfront.
Okay. How does that work? Like, what do I need to do?
Great. When can we meet? So,
That's good. Yeah.
Hey, JJ, did you
I
read?
mean, basically, someone is hiring you
Right.
full time, and they're not paying you. Right?
Exactly.
They're not paying you until you get the job,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I don't know if you read this part. I know there's a investigation said they was undercover by the human rights.
What are we talking about?
No, I was talking about, I was wondering if you read all of this.
Oh, so that's from artificial intelligence?
No, I was from the, I don't know if you read this, but, it's about the, landlord.
Undercover investigation, Housing Rights Initiative conducted undercover operations together.
Yeah, it's an
No
undercover.
discrimination. Yeah, we don't discriminate.
I don't know if you ever read
We
that.
only discriminate against people who can or cannot pay the rent. Right?
Yeah.
Or who can or cannot pay the mortgage, but that's it. You either can pay, you can either can afford it or not.
And so basically, that's kind of a bona fide.
So any buyer that I would be following up with, I would say, that doesn't want to commit,
Yeah,
right?
right.
I would say, I think your fear of commitment is preventing you from buying something. Just call them out on it. I think maybe your fear of committing to an agent is hurting you and not helping you. Because if you commit to me, I will be working for you full time to find that property for you, which means I'll be calling all the agents in the area who have sold property in the past 2 years, asking them if they have anything that they've been talking to someone, past client maybe, that nobody else would know about.
Yeah.
Right? I'll be reaching out to homeowners directly. I'll be reaching out to other agents in my office. No one's doing that for you,
Right.
right? Because you haven't hired anyone yet.
That's a really good plan.
Okay.
That's
Right?
really good.
And the
Yeah.
good news is you're not paying me unless I perform for you.
Yeah, and then that just makes it easier once you meet with them. You're like, okay.
Yeah, let's set the appointment. We'll get really clear on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And you'll put me to work. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Give me 60 days. So during that 60 days, I'm gonna show them as many properties as I can.
Yeah.
And then also at the end, and if we don't find anything within that 60 days, at the end of the 60 days, I'm gonna ask you if you like the job I've been doing for you. And it's up to you if you want to extend our relationship or not.
Yeah.
All right, give me 60 days. At that point, you're gonna know if they're a real buyer or not,
Right.
right? Because if they're
Just tell
still,
them everything.
if
that-
they're still hesitant, there's a reason they're not buying. And maybe you're not asking the right questions at that point, like, but there's a reason, like, I think just if someone came in the open house.
Yeah.
there's a reason that they came in. It's not just a looky loo. Like I do have a friend who's a looky loo. Like he needs to know every single, he has FOMO. He needs to know every single property in the area. But he's a real estate guy. Any other objections?
I have a friend who lives in Beverlywood and he has a friend that wants to move into Chevy Hills or Beverlywood. He wants to spend $6 million. He wants a pool. He wants a 9 or 10,000 square foot lot built in 2018 or newer. But there's no inventory. He doesn't want to sign with me. I haven't even met the guy. He's a friend of a friend, you know? But that's what he wants.
All right, so you've heard rumors of someone that might buy something with the following criteria. Okay. Okay, so I never want to work and spend my time on an unknown. That's just a waste of time. So I've seen agents like prepare to show a property. Right? And you don't even know if your client's gonna like it or not, right? So I don't want, don't put hours and hours into preparing for a showing because your client can walk in and say, no, it's not for me. And all that time went to waste. Once I show a property and they like it, then I get to work. Then I'll tell them everything about it afterwards. The first step is always see the property first. Like I'll have agents call me and say, is it negotiable, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, is your client seeing the property? And I know they haven't, right? So the first step is always get the client to see the property and then we can talk about anything you want to talk about. Right? But unless they've seen it, also like, people that have partners, husband, wife, whatever, if the other partner hasn't seen it, there's still no reason to even negotiate yet. Yeah, everyone needs to see it. Really?
Yeah.
Really, I mean, that's just natural. So like right now, I'm thinking I have someone looking, he's telling me he's the decision maker. I know better.
That person's asking, it's like last month.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember the address. It was like $4 million.
So, okay, and then like with the whole NER thing,
The NAR thing, yeah,
saying,
right. So people are maybe still hesitant to sign anything.
right,
That's.
Okay. I think as the more time goes on, it's just gonna be the natural way of doing things. I don't think people are gonna be as hesitant. They're aware. I think the issue now for us is when we start talking to people, the question will become, what have you signed?
Mhm.
Right? That's gonna be the question going forward for us. What have you already signed?
Yeah.
We need to make sure we're not working with someone who's under contract with another agent. Now, if you meet someone that's under contract with another agent, you can still represent them. They're just gonna be responsible for maybe 2 commissions. But that could be okay. If you're showing them as a steal of a deal and they're willing to pay 2.5 over there and 2.5 to you, but maybe your 2.5 you can ask the seller to pay.
Yeah.
But they might be okay. There's a lot of investor clients that say, show me the deal, and they're just looking at the numbers. So they're totally fine paying the commissions. So it's part, they just work it in.
right.
It's part of the deal. Any other objections? Did I answer your objections? All we do is answer objections. And get people to sign listings.
Yeah.
Buyer listing and sell listing. I mean, I know that you guys could sell 100 homes next year. It's just how many people you're gonna talk to. Oh, that's the only question.
Yeah.
That's the only variable.
I do have a scenario where I booked a expired appointment. I met with the guy and everything, and
Great.
apparently,
So you met with an expired listing.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my
Okay,
first one.
First tell us how you got the appointment.
Okay, so this was a holiday. What was one of the holidays? I think Memorial Day or something.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I know the first of the month is like the most important day that you should be calling expires because all of the ones from the end of the month roll in. So anyways, I
Oh,
called.
you think agents have their listings as first? Is that what you're saying?
Usually like Yeah, I don't know. Someone told me that usually the first of the month is most important. Cause usually, yeah, they end like at the end of the month.
Okay.
I don't know.
I saw a
What they
lot
told
of
me.
stuff show up on the first, like,
Yeah.
instead of 30, I saw 100 show up on the.
I see a lot of expirations, particularly on the
Yes.
first.
Yeah,
Yes.
Interesting. So that means they expired on the 31st at midnight.
yeah.
You see them on the first. That's interesting.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, so I call him, and I call him early morning. That's usually a good time to have him.
You called him the morning of the first?
Yes,
So as soon as it came on expired, you called.
pretty much, yeah.
Okay, good. Before you got freaked out by all the agents, other.
Exactly, yeah. He was on vacation, but I didn't know this, but he told me after. Yeah, and I told him, hey, like,
You called someone, they answered the phone on vacation. Them
no,
on the phone.
yeah, he was a really nice guy.
That's how you did that.
Well, he was a really nice guy. Honestly, like, because I was super nervous, but he actually made the conversation like super smooth and like he was willing to actually,
It sounds like a real seller,
yeah.
but he was overpriced.
Like,
Okay.
yeah. So, yeah, I asked him if he's still interested in selling. He said yes.
Yes, bring me a buyer.
Right. No, not bring me a buyer.
You have a buyer.
You know, actually, I was
No, that's what usually sellers are gonna say.
Yeah, yeah.
You have a
absolutely.
buyer. All right, okay.
Yeah, but he said, yeah, you know, I'm ready to sign with someone new. He's
Ready to sign with someone new?
Yeah.
Were you
because-
jumping?
Right.
It's a dream call for an expired.
No, absolutely.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, he had been on the market for like almost a whole year and it was a $900,000 home. So like, there really is no reason to be on the market
Okay.
for that long.
You listen.
Obviously. Okay, well, so I met with him, exactly. I met with him, and then he tells me that he still was signed with his, that he was still signed with his agent and that he was gonna be canceled soon. Right,
Oh,
exactly,
you wait a second, but it expired.
exactly.
So he wasn't aware that his listing expired.
I don't know.
No, he wasn't aware.
Yeah,
He
well,
told you that he was still signed with an agent.
with his current agent.
Okay.
And so and that he did have 2 or 3 offers that he was reviewing. And like, really, after being on the market for this long, you have offers.
Getting strange.
Right, super strange, yeah, I know, but that's why, but I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Okay.
So, okay, and so I'm like, okay, so you're contemplating on these offers, like, have you looked at the terms? Like, what's holding you back from taking one of these offers? I mean, you have offers, you know? And he says, well, I haven't looked at it completely,
Okay.
thoroughly. I'm gonna be meeting with my agent. This was either Thursday or Friday. This was Thursday. And he said, I'm gonna take these, not this Thursday, but it was a while back. And I'm gonna be meeting with my agent to go over them and then we'll decide, you know, if I'm gonna take one of these offers or if I'm just gonna cancel with him already and move on with someone new. I was like, okay, well, you know, like, when are you deciding to make that decision? When are you gonna make that decision? And he said, well, I don't work on the weekend, so I'm gonna be probably meeting with him Monday or Tuesday. And so I followed up with him, well, so have you made a decision? And he says, he kind of like ghosts me and I'm like, what's going on? So I keep following up with him. And then he ends up telling me that his dad is in the hospital now. So now I don't know what to do because it's like, there's that sensitive.
But you did get a meeting with him.
I did get a meeting with him.
Went to the property.
Yeah,
Okay.
sell property and everything. I told him that I was gonna work hard for him.
When was this? When?
This was about now 2 weeks ago, I think.
2 weeks ago. Has the property been relisted yet?
No, it's still,
And have you had contact with him since?
yeah, that's how I know that his dad is in the
All right.
hospital. And
So-
I followed up with him like, thanks, you guys, stuff, but I don't know how to follow up with him.
So you're gonna call him today. And you're gonna say, I'm coming over to list your property today. Not big. I'm coming over to list your property today. What time should I come? And he's gonna laugh,
For sure.
for sure. And you're gonna say, look, really, if you wanna sell your house, I'm gonna sell it. Just coming from a place of confidence.
Yeah,
I wanna sell, I'm your agent. Let's get the ball rolling. I'll come in. Is it clean? Does it need
it's vacant. It's
bacon?
yeah, it's a vacant property. I know.
No.
He gave me like the code and everything. He said, he'll sell it for me. And he told me pretty much, bring up me a buyer, I'll pay the full percent.
Okay, you need to list this right away,
Yeah,
right away.
You on the medicine, I think.
Also kind of.
My boyfriend, he got sick first.
Your boyfriend got sick too?
He got sick at we went to a concert, remember?
It's like, it's a 3-bedroom, but then there's a bedroom upstairs that you have to enter through the back. And it's,
Get the
yeah,
property listed.
yeah.
Really.
Does it matter the price or do I just keep it at
Of
like?
course, the price matters.
Right.
Of course. Get it listed. Sign a law as long as the agreement again.
Right.
So, okay, so.
Do I care? Like, do I mention anything about dad though? Cause I don't know. He said,
Dad, no.
yeah.
He's like, how's your dad doing? Sorry to hear that.
Right, exactly.
So a 6-month, you want a 6-month listing? Okay, so we are going into holidays.
Right.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's,
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah, yeah.
Nika,
October, November, December, January, February, March, 6 months.
Halloween.
You're gonna sell this property, if not the end of the year, the beginning of next year.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to get a 6-month listing.
Yeah.
Just take the listing. Really, get it.
yeah.
Just tell them, what are you waiting for?
I know,
I'm coming over right now, we're gonna sign a listing, or just send it to them,
right.
just send them a listing agreement.
Lots of
You
people.
have his email address?
And Christmas.
I do.
Send them a DocuSign,
I know, right? Like,
send them a listing agreement.
dude, what do you
Send
waiting
a listing
for?
agreement. What do you do if you got a DocuSign listing agreement?
You would sign it. Well, you'll probably be like, what the heck is this? And then you're like, okay.
Send it. You have nothing to lose.
Buyers
Okay.
want a house by Christmas, buyers want a house.
It is.
Yeah, I know.
Get it in there.
Send it. Say, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
You know I'm gonna sell it. What, are you afraid of selling it?
Yeah, yeah.
It is sign all. You put big all in there.
All right, I'm gonna stop this. We're gonna do part 2 of the purchase agreement, the residential purchase agreement in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna sign off on the list, Zoom list.
I know, but I don't want to.
You can,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's really gonna require a lot of confidence. Okay, you're ready to sell your property? Let's go.
You need to be confident, like,
Yeah.
I'm selling your house,
Selling your,
sending you a listing agreement, and I'm gonna get your house.
yeah.
Nothing should be stopping you. I'm your agent.
Yeah.
Stop talking to your agent who couldn't sell it,
Right.
right? They didn't get the job done. I'm here to get the job done.
Yeah.
Yeah.